Today's tip video comes from a question that Hunter asked. He said, can you do a video on shaders, break down how to properly hold them and how to get good with fading it? So what I use for shading is a vertical line thumbprint. This is the one out of our beginner's kit here. And this one here, when I hold it, I hold with these 3 fingers. My thumb is about where my middle finger is. My pointer finger's up here for guiding it. And then my ring finger's right down there, almost at the bottom of it. My pinky is kind of connected with my ring finger there, helping bounce off that leather and kind of brace up there. So this tool, I'm going to be tipping it a little bit. And so you can see I'm getting an impression on this end, but it's faded off of that side there. Now I run this tool close to that edge of those petals just to create that little highlighted ridge there. That's going to start adding a whole lot of definition to our petals. Now, as I'm moving this to the side, notice that I'm just barely walking it along there. And that's what's going to help as far as getting those smooth. I'll go back and retouch that. And kind of roll this as I'm working around that end of that petal. When I go to fade that down, I can flatten it out just a little bit as I'm fading, and I can fade right down that petal towards that flower center. This is going to work the same way in vine work, but I just wanted to do up a little flower here for an example for you. So you can see how that's already bringing those petals to life, getting so much depth in there. Now these are 2 different widths, the ends on this tool. This end that I'm using is really wide, and that other end is a little bit more narrow. That's just for whatever one fits better in what you're doing. So it's not a problem, you can use either one, because we're tipping that tool and just using the end of it anyhow. Starting to flatten it as I fade it down there a little bit. What we don't want to do is get that whole tool down and get the other end of that making a full tool impression. So again, that ring finger down there is really going to help guide that tool, so we're not holding way up here letting it bounce and chatter. Roll that around as we move it. So pretty short video, pretty simple tips, but just some basic fundamental techniques for using that vertical line thumbprint as a shader to help get some more depth in your tooling and even shading there.